Welcome to episode 4 of Spillin' the Tea. I'm Laura Perilla.
And I'm Greg Barton.
You heard about our new copier that we're getting?
The new copier is here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be installed today. I saw it sitting out in the hallway last night when I left, like 5 o'clock. It wasn't installed yet, but
I
I,
I used it yesterday.
oh, you did?
I set up my card on it and everything because you have to go out there with your card because you have to scan in to make a copy, and you put your card on there and it reads it, and then it asks you to log in with your credentials.
But that's
And
only the first time, right?
yeah, and once you log in with your credentials, your card are linked to your credentials, and then you just use your card to make copies, so you don't put in codes anymore or anything. It's just you just use your card.
That's nice because I remember that when we came back from our remote teaching during the COVID lockdowns, the first thing everybody said was, "Oh my gosh, I can't remember the copier code."
And then if this one isn't working and you have to go to the one up in the medical dental area up here in our realm, then
Then you can still use it.
but yeah, but it had a different code. So I could never remember that code when we
Right.
would have a
And now you
problem
won't
with the
have to.
copier down here. So
And it also mentioned in the news I saw about it, it mentioned about document security. And I think maybe some people might not understand what they mean when they say document security. So if you think about, let's just say FERPA protected information.
yeah.
You know that you're supposed to be cautious in making sure that that information doesn't get shared when it shouldn't. But if you print your class roster to go to class the first day and take roll, but it sits in the printer for 10 minutes, somebody could walk by and take that or pick it up and read it and then put it back. And then you don't even know somebody took it and read it. So the fact that you have to go scan to get your print jobs means that there's very little chance that somebody else is going to be looking over your shoulder and reading that FERPA protected information that you just printed.
So I have one other sort of aside with all of this. When I was speaking with someone, and I'm not going to mention any names, but when I was speaking with someone about the new printer, and they were talking about how, it keeps track of who makes, how many copies and maybe like what you copied and everything, they mentioned Big Brother, and we're talking about how they're watching everything.
Well, speaking of Big Brother, Brother is a brand of printer.
Well, that's true. I have a Brother color laser printer at home
Yes,
that
that's what I have sitting right here. It's a Brother color printer, and
that
it's
I
a good
actually
scan
like
copy.
very much. It works very well. It's served me very well for quite a number of years already, I'd say. But yeah, they mentioned that, and I said, "Oh, is it 1984?" And I said, "It only took us till 2024 to get there." We're 40 years late. So I thought it was funny. But they said that, and I kind of thought, well,
Speaking of color printers, though, the one up in the dental and medical area is a color copier. And
Oh,
so now that we will have access to any of the copiers using our ID, that means that if you want to make color copies of something special for your class, you can do that up there at that one.
I'm glad we got the new copiers. I mean, the copier, it seemed like every Monday I came in and I couldn't print. So I mean, it really is great that we got these new
Yeah.
Rico copiers in, and they look nice. I'm sure they have all the functionality we could possibly need. And
And today we have for you a chai tea that comes from Dollar Tea Club. It's called Dollar Chai. It's a black tea with ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, black and white pepper, clove, nutmeg, and rose petals. And here's our package. So what do you how have you prepared yours, Greg?
so I put I put a little bit of sugar in. I put like one packet, and then I put some milk in it. I actually added milk to it. And this week in my refrigerator, I have 2%. I often like whole milk in a chai, kind of.
Yeah.
So it makes it richer, but that's what I have. So that's what I used today.
Yeah, I'm diabetic, so I'm using Splenda and fat-free half and half.
But this has a really nice aroma in the mug
Yeah, as
after
soon as I
steeping.
tore open the package, it had this really nice baking spices kind of smell to it, so I was encouraged. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's very nice.
I'm not used to nutmeg coming through in a chai, but I really do taste the nutmeg in this.
I think that's because often in a chai, depending how spicy it is, how much spice is added, that the other spices sometimes overwhelm it. But this blend really, it seems to allow all the flavors through. I even get a hint of that rose petal, the rose flavor, I think, and I smell the rose in there just a little bit. It adds a little something to it, I think.
Yeah, it's not punch you in the face floral. It's you wouldn't know necessarily what it is if you didn't read the ingredients.
Yeah, but you can taste it. I think they did a good job with the blend in terms of trying to allow all of the flavors to kind of come through, because I drink some
Yeah.
chais that are much more spicy, and the clove will kind of tend to overpower things, or you'll have one of the spices tend to overpower things a little bit more,
Yes.
and so you don't feel like you get the full mix.
Yeah, some can be very ginger forward or some can be very cardamom forward or super
And I
peppery.
like some of the spicy chais too.
Yeah,
Don't get
I,
me
I
wrong.
like them, but they are all very different. It's kind of like how everybody has their own seasoning blend that they like to make food with, right? So I think chai can be like that, where you've got a very individual recipe, um, and you just have to try each one. But I really like this. I would
I've
definitely buy this.
did you probably don't know this, but I one year for Christmas I mixed my own chai blend
Ooh,
at home with good spices, and I think I used as the base mainly an Assam because I wanted that sort of richness of the Assam in the chai. And my wife got me a wooden mortar and pestle
ooh,
that I used to get the
crush your
spices,
spices up.
crush the spices, and I actually gave it out for Christmas to the family, to my family members. I sent everybody a little bit of this chai and a mug and a
That's a
strainer
lovely
and the
gift.
whole bit. So I made and it actually came out really, it was really good. I got a lot of compliments on it. I haven't done it again. I did kind of put down the basic recipe because I really worked on it and kind of tweaked the recipe over time. And I had always wanted to do that, make my own
Yeah.
chai blend.
That's a cool idea. I really like that. And that's a very thoughtful personal present too.
It went over really well. I mean, people in the family really ended up liking it, and I got a lot of compliments on the tea. So,
Well, I mean, I cracked a joke in the bonus episode about teas that are good versus teas that Greg likes, but I think in general you have very good tea opinions.
well, today we were going to drink black tea. I wore my black shirt, which maybe makes me look a little light here with the light hair and everything. But, I always drink out of my carbon mug. And of
Yes.
course, carbon is black too. So, it's good
So
for a black tea.
I have I got this at a one of those resale stores like a TJ Maxx or something.
Oh, yeah.
But my first job, I worked in the mollusk department at the Carnegie Museum, and we did research on land snails. So I
Ah,
have like this little obsession with anything I find with snails on it. So there's a little snail
I
on my
see
mug.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's one inside too.
Oh, wow, there is, isn't there? That's a
Except
nice mug.
when
I
I
like
turn
that.
it so that I'm drinking right-handed, the picture's different. And there's a difference in
Ah,
this side. But yeah, so I've got my snail and mushroom mug. I've been
that,
calling it my snug because
you're snug.
snail mug.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure that name's going to stick. So, what kind of rating would you give this tea?
I would give this maybe a 7.5 to
Okay.
8, I'd say. I've had a lot of different chais, and I guess it's a personal taste thing in some ways. I do tend to like my chai to be maybe a little spicier, but the good rating in a lot of ways is that the blend, all the flavors really do come through. And I like that about it. It really gives you that. And so for someone who likes chais, but I think doesn't want them to be too spicy, this might be a 10 for somebody. This
Yeah.
might really for the right person, this
Yeah.
for their palate, this might really be because it's a milder chai and the blend is such that all the flavors come through. And I think it's really the strong point about this particular one.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm going to give it an 8. I really, really like it. And if I didn't already have a favorite chai, I would be buying it. But I already have a favorite. But I would absolutely give this a 10 for gifting.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to introduce someone to chai who's never had it before, this would be an excellent choice to give somebody for their very first experience with chai.
I agree with that because it wouldn't because some of them might kind of overpower somebody almost
Yes, and if
in
you've
terms of
never
the
had
flavor.
it before, I think this is a wonderful introduction to it. Actually, now that I say that, I may buy some of this because my grandmother has never had chai tea,
Oh,
and I think she might like it. I think this would be a lovely introduction to tea for her, or to specifically
the
chai
chai.
tea.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree that this is definitely a good introductory chai tea. And even more than that, I mean, it's like I say, for some people's palate, this might be the one that really hits the spot for.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for this episode.
All right.
Have a terrific day, everybody.
We'll see you next time.